We're back. Tri-State Sports, guys.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's talk about these stupid Jets. Because now they're annoying me.
Yeah.
They are playing bad. I'm tired. This is what we were talking about before the season. Rex Ryan, just shut up. I'm tired of it. Your team's not that good.
But what did he say, though? That's what I don't get.
I just don't want him to say anything. No other coach talks. He shouldn't talk.
What did he say? He didn't say anything. He's
talking about we're better than the Giants. If we lose, it's on me, not the teams. Like, what does that mean? Just shut up.
See, that's what I'm saying.
What does that mean? Tell me what that means.
You're making things up.
He didn't say that?
He said, blame it on me. Yeah, he didn't say we're better than the Giants.
Yes, he did.
He didn't say we're better than the Giants. What did he say? He said well, I'm not going to be a little brother to anybody. What did he say?
He said, we are better than the Giants.
It's on me.
If we lose, it's on me. If we win, it's on the players. Nobody cares. Play some defense. His defense is
so he should just not do press conferences.
He shouldn't talk. Everyone else does press conferences and manages to not talk trash or talk about we're better than this. Just play your game. Talk about why your defense is not good.
He's deflecting the fact that they had a terrible game.
You're still defending him after all this?
100%. I'll get into. I have some arguments.
I'd like to hear it.
Well,
just take it because no matter what I say, it doesn't matter. The Jets defense doesn't play well.
The Jets defense is not good. Jets defense, and
it's all Rex Ryan's here is to talk about the defense. All Rex Ryan. He's a defensive
What's he supposed to say? Our defense stinks.
Yeah.
What's he supposed to say?
My defense stinks.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good idea.
Why not?
A lot of successful coaches go out and say my defense stinks. Name one.
Well, because their defense don't stink.
Okay.
Successful coaches have good defenses. His defense stinks.
Bill Belichick's defense doesn't stink. Do you ever hear him say? I mean, Bill Belichick's defense does stink.
No, you know what Bill Belichick does? He doesn't say this thing. He cuts people. You know what? You're not playing for me anymore. What does this guy do?
Well, who are they going to pick up? Who are they going to go out and get?
Oh,
you don't know.
Changes need to happen.
Just changing to happen, but he can't talk. You're not making any sense.
Other coaches talk.
A lot of coaches talk.
Really?
Harbaugh doesn't talk. Schwartz doesn't talk. There aren't other coaches that talk.
Schwartz should be fired too. He's awful.
He's in the play. He should be fired. The team didn't win a game a couple years ago. Now he's got him in the playoffs.
His team. People were calling for his head about 45 minutes ago because all his team is like a bunch of lunatics.
Yeah, but they got him there. That's their identity, bro.
I would love to hear your thoughts on this game.
Here's my game. Now, I told you I didn't think they were going to win this game. Yeah. They were the underdog. I didn't think it was going to be as lopsided as it was. But when you look at the game, I mean, 100% of it falls on the tone that was set by Santonio Holmes. I mean, you look at what happened. You look at what happened with the fumble. Then you look at what happened with this drop pass. Tip. I mean, you put yourselves behind the eight ball that much. There's not much you could do, and I know it's could get you in trouble to try to group a group of people together and prejudge them. But I'm willing to say right now, I just hate all wide receivers. I hate all of them. There's not
that
any.
Is not
of
what I thought you were going to say.
There's not any of them that I like, dude. I hate all of them because after
you hate Wes Welker.
All of them. Well, Wes Welker, I do hate.
Although he did make comments about the feet last year,
right? Which I'm going to bring up later on in our show.
Oh, really?
But
okay.
Which that's a good job by you.
Thanks,
me.
pal.
So after all that, he makes this little dance. He does this little premeditated dance with the ball and all that. So stupid. It's like, dude, he hasn't been good all year, and everybody talks about it's Mark Sanchez's fault. He hasn't been great all year.
Don't you think it's because they don't throw the ball to him enough in the beginning of games?
How about sometimes he gets the ball and make a play after the catch?
I don't disagree with you.
How many times have you seen him make a play
catches
after
it?
the catch?
Oh, no doubt. You're right about that.
That's what he gets paid to do, and that's what their offense really is based on. Now, you could argue with their offensive scheme, but they want to get their ball, get the ball in the playmaker's hands and let him make plays.
Your boy
well, it's real hard to make plays when you catch the ball and you fall to the ground every time.
That's fair.
Right? I mean, when do you ever see him catch a slant and just take it to the house?
I hear you.
Braylon Edwards used to do it more than this guy does it, and now they're stuck with him. And what are they going to do, cut him? I mean, they gave him $50 million.
So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen here?
What do I think is going to happen in this upcoming game? I mean, it is, to me, and I don't want to be the negative Jet fan, it's shaping up to be not a good week for the Jets.
It's funny because I'm trying to buy in to the Giants for a few reasons. Number one, because I think it gets you going a little, and I try so hard. I can't.
Well, that's why I'm happy to hear.
No, I'm trying to buy in to the Giants.
But how could they?
But
what do you like about the Jets more than the Giants?
No, I like the Jets' ability to be. I think that in a push comes to shove situation, I trust the Jets' defensive backs.
Yeah.
To make a play. And the Giants' defense has no shot of making a play.
Here's what worries me about the Jets' defensive backs and the way that the Giants' offense is run. We talk about it all the time. Nobody, I don't know the stat on this one. I don't even know how you could look this up. Nobody draws more pass interference calls than the Giants. They throw the ball downfield. They get every game. There's a deep pass interference call, and the Jets, both guys, including Revis, he gets called for illegal hands and he gets called for pass interference. Cromartie gets a pass interference call against him every game.
It's actually a positive play if Cromartie only gets.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So it's like, they're going to take those shots down the field. And I think it's, as much as I love Revis, and I think he's clearly the best corner in the league, he has not been playing great. He cannot allow Hakeem Nicks to go out there and catch six balls for 80 yards.
There are a lot of chinks in that Jet armor right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So my question is,
but how can you? But see, you're saying that. But if I want to root for the Giants, how can I root for a team that's lost 5 of 6 and one game they won was some miraculous victory against Dallas? So it's like you're saying the Jets are playing awful. The only team playing worse than Jets are the Giants.
Right.
It's hard for me. If I had to pick, I would probably pick the Giants only because they have, in my mind, a guy in JPP who could break up the entire system.
Right.
Right? And Revis, as good as he is, he's just sitting out there. Like, you could just throw away from Revis.
But I don't think one thing I think about Eli, he's not going to throw away from Revis. He's going to take his chances against Revis. The one thing you could say, and I criticize him a lot, he will take his chances against Revis. Right. And he's going to have some success there. He's going to get his pass interference calls. I mean, Revis isn't going to shut Nicks down.
Let's do it this way. Jets running game versus the Giants. Who's got the advantage?
I still think... I mean, I know the stats don't back it up. I still think the Giants have a better running game than the Jets. I really do.
What about passing game?
Clearly, Eli's clearly better than Sanchez, and I'd say Nicks is the best wide receiver on either team.
But then defense, you're going to.
I think the one great thing for the Jets is that Ballard is out.
Is he out for sure?
Yeah, I got him on my fantasy team. They're projecting him out. He's going to projected for 0 because I was going to start him because they can't stop. I mean, Selleck looked like he was reborn again. I mean, that guy was unbelievable last week, and it happens all the time. They don't have anybody that can cover a tight end.
Absolutely.
So, I got the guy Beckham, but I think he's kind of hurt too. I don't even know who's going to be playing tight end for them this week. So that's going to help the Jets because that would be a huge disadvantage for the Jets to have to defend. Even though I'm not a huge Ballard fan, he's definitely could carve up the Jets safeties. So I mean, are we in agreement on those two things? I mean, I think offensively you got to look at the Giants and say that they're a better offensive team. So is the difference between the Giants offense and the Jets offense greater than the difference between the Jets defense and the Giants defense? I think.
Here's what I would say. This is what in thinking about it.
Yeah.
The only way, if you're turning on this game late because you're doing some 5 o'clock mass or whatever, and you come in and it's the third quarter of the Giant game, and the game is close, big advantage for the Jets in my mind, because if that game stays close, I trust that there will be a defensive breakdown for the Giants at some point. But if that game gets out of hand early, I think the Jets have no shot.
I'm in the same boat as you.
You know what I'm saying?
The Jets just don't.
No shot.
And I also think
Mark Sanchez can make a play. I don't think he can make 5 plays.
Look, Eli Manning is going to put up his yard. There hasn't been a game all year where he's not putting up yardage. I mean, he's like 3rd in the league in yards. Yeah. So he's going to put up his 250 to 300 yards regardless. Even I don't care what defense is going up against. It's going to be a matter of holding him in the red zone. Right? And holding the field goals instead of touchdowns for the Jets. And the Jets are going to have to make plays. I mean, against the Patriots who don't have a great secondary.
Got to turn it over, right?
Well, no, I'm saying
on the
offensive side, they didn't do it. They didn't seem to make plays. They cannot. Sanchez can't win this game and throw for 160 yards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're going to have Santonio's going to have something to prove. Plaxico's clearly got something to prove. And you got Keller, who has been the one consistent guy in the passing game in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So, I think he's got to throw for 225, 250 yards.
I think this needs to be a typical Jet, one of those games we talked about early, when they started to play well, when you look up at the half and it's 6-3. That's a game that the Jets fan, usually you hate that. As a Jet fan, you're going to love that game. And
you're going to need a play on special teams. I mean, special teams, when they went on that run where they turned the ball over on special teams 4 consecutive weeks, that's just the anti-Jets football. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that they always are one of the better teams.
If the Jets lose this game and don't make the playoffs, Jim Leonard needs to be. They need to pay him like $200 million. He's clearly every time that guy gets hurt, the Jets go totally downhill.
Well, no, they lost that one game last year, and then they went to the AFC Championship game without him.
But
downhill. They lost that one game.
But the whole time they were like, we haven't been able to replace him, and then it finally came to a head because you can coach around that for a little while, but it seems that...
I don't think that Jim Leonard not being there...
I think that he does a little bit...
Roethlisberger completed like 10 passes that game when they beat him. Roethlisberger didn't have a big game in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, but Jim Leonard. No, but the defense sort of. There was a lot of defensive breakdowns towards the end of that game.
I don't know. They held them to no points in the second half, didn't they? Wasn't it 24 to something at the halftime?
I don't remember.
I mean, they didn't. Their defense in the second half played pretty well. I mean, I do think he's very good, but I don't think the Jets could use that as an excuse if they don't make the playoffs. The one saving grace is that I think that the Jets can lose this game and still make the playoffs.
Well, how does that work? There is a way.
Well, because
the Raiders' loss was huge for the Jets.
So
huge.
If the Jets go 1-1,
Yes.
the two teams that can catch them. Well, I mean, can we say that the Titans are out of it? I mean, the Titans can go 2-0.
Okay.
But the Raiders have to go 2-0.
No shot.
Or the Bengals have to go 2-0. The Bengals play the Ravens last week of the season.
I don't
Ravens
think either
could
of
be
those teams go 2-0.
Right. So if they both go 1-1 and the Jets go 1-1, they're in. And then you're going to hear all the people saying the Jets backed in. So
They would have backed in.
Which they would have backed in if they get in at 9-7.
Doesn't matter, though.
But it doesn't matter. They backed in.
Packers
2
backed
years
in.
ago.
How'd that work out?
Exactly. Now, we got a little bit of time left. Let's talk about the implications for the Giants. Now, if the Giants lose this game.
You have no shot. I don't care what happens. They are out
Because
if they don't win.
and we got an Eagles fan here. Now, the Eagles.
I know that scenario.
This scenario is like the sexy scenario to talk about.
I'm rooting for the Eagles.
I am 100%.
By the way, I was so happy about that. We finally made the Indy Hunt graphic.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah,
For the
5
first
and 8,
time
baby.
ever.
It's pretty
5 and
simple because
8.
they actually,
That's great. It's so funny.
as much as a 6-8 team can have their fate in their hands, they have it in their hands.
They win this week. I think they're a point and a half.
Just go
underdog.
2-0.
They win. Who do they play last week of the season?
Redskins.
I'm sorry, Redskins.
Okay. So this is the big game. If they win this week and the Jets beat the Giants, basically
Eagles are in a
the
driver's
Giants need help because if either the Giants win, if the Eagles win, they got the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Giants lose this game, they lose obviously they lose control of their own destiny. Which all the last 4 games they kept saying, well, all they have to do is beat the Cowboys. All they have to do is beat the Cowboys. They didn't take into effect the fact that what about if the Eagles gone?
I'm gonna tell you what. If the Eagles get in this playoffs, they may be my Super Bowl pick. I'm just telling you that. Just like I picked the Packers last year.
You look at the Eagles, dude.
They got
and
a
that's
lot
why
of
everybody's
talent.
talking about, well, the Jets had this terrible loss and comparing it to what was the worst loss? The Giants losing to the Skins at home and the Jets losing to the Eagles. They're night and day.
No,
the Jets
it
have
was
lost
just a bad
5. The Eagles lost 5 games in the fourth quarter.
I think it was
the
just people-
the Eagles could be on 10 wins right now.
Plus, they had
compare
Vince
them.
Young starting 3 games, which killed us.
You can't compare
100%.
them. No
Macklin
doubt.
was down.
But if
Their defense coordinator is horrible, but they got talent.
I mean, listen, the Eagles could also lose both of these games, but they have a shot. So that part of me, that's why every time the Giants come in these situations where you got to come up big, they knock on wood, they seem to have played well enough to win, even against the Packers, who everyone thought was going to win by 40.
Yeah.
They seem to step their game up. Now, that being said, every time Rex Ryan talks, the Jets step their game up.
Right.
I'm telling you, if I had to pick, I'm picking a Giant victory slight, but I wouldn't put.
I'm amazed. Are you amazed by the spread in this game that the Jets are laying 3 points? How are the Jets laying points in this game?
Home game.
Home game.
Who do you like? Give me an honest opinion.
Honestly, I'm going to give you a score. It's going to kill me to say it. 28-17 Giants.
And the only other time he's ever picked against them, King Tebow went down the field.
I'm just being honest. You can't
Tony,
say that I'm a homer like that. Tony, what's your prediction here?
I got the Giants.
What is it?
24-17.
James, you got anything?
To be honest with you, I like the Jets in this game.
That's my man.
I like the Jets.
You can come here anytime.
Young and dumb.
21-17,
Young and dumb.
21-14. Low-scoring game. I do agree with you guys. I like the Giants in the over or the Jets in the under. I do agree with you there.
Mike
I'm
T,
going Jets in the
you
under.
care?
Raiders.
Raiders,
tell you.
go 2-0, slide into the playoffs.
Mike T sent me a 4-page text about how angry he was.
4-page text.
So like one of those,
Unlike your tablet,
you
you
hear
wrote it out on
you hear
iPad.
like beep 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 because clearly he typed a lot. It was too much for my phone to take in.
Yeah.
He was angry.
Raiders are 0-2 when I go to New York City.
Yeah, it's your fault. It's your fault they don't play defense in the fourth quarter.
Blood's on your hands, Mike T.
When we come back,
This is the first time we've done a Say What with Tony here.
yeah.
It's
It's
since
an
November,
honor.
since Thanksgiving.
Well, let's get right to it. We'll be back with a Tri-State Sports, guys.